Hi there. So this will be number 7 for the totems, and this is a baby skunk. It was so cute, I couldn't take a grown-up one, although they were cute also, but this was just the cutest ever. But maybe not so nice to go close to. So let's see. I will read about the skunk first, maybe a ramble afterwards, I think so. I think there is a ramble brewing inside. We'll see. Skunk, tell me the story so I will know it well, of how to attract and how to repel. This is really interesting. Yeah, I have more than one ramble going. Okay, reputation, skunk. Skunk medicine, go ahead and laugh. This furry little animal has a reputation that contains a great deal of power. Due to its distinctive behavior, humans give this tiny smelly creature a wide berth. The key word here is respect. Unlike other predatory animals, skunk does not threaten your life but threatens your senses. You know this to be true if you have ever been in the vicinity of its spray. In observing the habit patterns of skunk, it is easy to notice the playfulness and nonchalance of its natural behavior. The "I dare you" attitude of this four-legged creature commands you, as the observer, to respect its space by mere reputation alone. Skunk is teaching you that by walking your talk and by respecting yourself, you will create a position of strength and honored reputation. The carriage of your body relates to others what you believe about yourself. There is no need to bully, aggravate, torment, or overpower other beings when your sense of self is intact. As with skunk, the resonant field of energy around your body is relayed through the senses. Self-esteem permeates the body's energy and is instantly recognized on an extrasensory level by others. Learn to assert without ego what you are. Respect follows. Your self-respectful attitude will repel those who are not of like mind, and yet will attract those who choose the same pathway. As the odor of skunk attracts others of its kind, it repels those who will not respect its space. Skunk medicine people have the ability to attract others, and they are very charismatic. At the same time, the other side of their natural power is to repel those who seek to take energy from them without recycling the gifts they have taken. Skunk medicine people also know how to use the energy flows that will attract a lover. Some people call this sexual magic, as it is akin to the musk scent that animals excrete to attract a mate. It can be dangerous to leak sexual energy if you're not looking for a mate. It puts you in a game's condition that you may feed your ego, but not how others feel about you. If you're attracting others who have an interest in you, you are in a sense saying, "I'm available." This can cause hard feelings when the truth comes out. It also leaks energy that you could have used in a more constructive way. In skunk medicine, it is good to learn how to handle energy flows. Modern psychologists call this body language. In tribal teachings, this is your personal medicine which you are showing to others. Use your medicine well, and know that you are known by your reputation. How you use your energy will attract either honor or disgrace. You may want to examine what energy you are putting out that creates your present situation. If you have chosen this symbol, you are being asked to notice the kinds of people who are attracted to you. If they emulate favorable characteristics, have enough self-esteem to recognize those characteristics within yourself. Walk tall and be proud of the accomplishments you have made. Bear in mind that what you believe about yourself is your ultimate protection. Project self-respect. And if you then don't or haven't embraced this medicine for yourself, this may be for you then. Skunk medicine operating through the contrary or reversed position indicates that your self-esteem may be seen to others as if you are putting on airs. Observe whether or not you are repelling others in your vicinity because of envy, jealousy, or a projection of their low self-esteem. Examine your feelings. Be truthful with yourself. Write the situation by assuming the attitude of skunk, nonchalance. In assuming nonchalance, you are neutralizing the effect of leaking energy. In leaking vital energy, you may be stinking up your environment. This is similar to dumping all of your woes on anyone who will listen. If you're doing this, it may be time to shut your mouth and go within. Oh. You may also be leaking sexual energy and repulsing the object of your interest. That person may be too shy to tell you to lay off. Look deeply at your self-image and how others are reacting to it. To balance the causes and effects of your actions and energy flows, you must decide whether or not you need to spray in the direction of others to repel their envy, greed, jealousy, or overambitious tendencies. On the other hand, you need to always maintain your right to be. Self-respect is the key to all of these situations, whereas ego is merely what you believe yourself to be. That we can say once again, right? Self-respect is the key to all of these situations, whereas ego is merely what you believe yourself to be. Skunk says, if your ego is not your amigo, you know it stinks. What? Skunk says, if your ego is not your amigo, you know it stinks. So that was fun. Well, this is an awesome totem to all of them are, but usually maybe if you do a drum journey or something and recognize you have a skunk, maybe you don't feel like wow, but it's absolutely awesome, this one. What a skill to have. And do I have it? Not so much yet. I'm maybe getting there slowly. I do quite the opposite oftentimes, or have done. I attract what I want, don't want, and repel the rest. No, but so yeah. Well, the rambles. Oh, there is so much in my mind now. But this cute little skunk, adorable. Wow. So if you chose number 7, then I hope you get something out of this then. Or got something out of the text, because now I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, the whole reputation thing, I try to leave things behind and not dwell on past things, because you know about energy and everything. What you focus on, you draw it in once again and once again and once again. And if you want to let go of it, that's stupid, obviously. Still, I process certain things and think about them. So, well, so I will go ahead a bit and hope you're having a good day or night or whatever time it is. And thanks for listening, whomever you are. And also, yeah, maybe I should share a little bit about what I. Probably many of you have listened to me in many years, actually. I'm amazed. I wonder if you get paid or something. I'm glad you do, though. But yeah, I'm really interested in the things I talk about. Okay, I've used this as my platform to just, get things out sometimes, so that's not so. I probably have been skunking you a lot, stinking rambles, but yeah, I'll try to change that. Well, so what I do, I've been working more with the shamanic, or more in depth personally, I mean, with the shamanic path, in the shamanic path, on the shamanic path. And yeah, it takes its toll. And I thought this direction of north and the hummingbird and the peace and all that would be the most easy for me, because that feels so natural and normal, sort of. I often see others with their shoulders up at their ears, and and I have this kind of skill to relax. I've always had that. I mean, not every moment in time or so on. Things have been crazy sometimes, but obviously then I've been totally overstressed also. I know that feeling, but I think I guess I'm less ambitious. I'm not competitive. I don't have that in myself. Maybe I get it more, especially if I exercise and such, which I do a little bit more now. I think I kind of feed that little bit competitiveness in me then. But usually I don't have that. I can more easily lose just to have others feel better. I don't care, I don't do that. So, and others don't understand. Some who are more like that, they don't get me. They don't understand what I'm doing because I don't even play the game. But I realized that after very many years of not getting what they're doing. I think it's just stupid. But they think the same, I guess, about me then. Yeah, so... But that's also a defense. Not that I've used it as a defense, it's just natural. But, if you don't play it, you can't be played, which is a good thing, though. Yeah, but... yeah, if you're just satisfied with you yourself and don't really care about those stuff going on. Yeah. But about the whole, how should I... Yeah, well, I just wanted to share. I do that more. I also do more shamanic work overall, shamanic healings, and in my readings, that is also... Usually when it comes to the mediumship or psychic readings, I just pick up whatever comes my way. But now I've started to more work in a sacred setting, like tuning into those specifics that I want to communicate with and get the messages from and so on. Sometimes depend on what the client or whomever seek. But it's really rewarding and it's efficient. That's the most wonderful thing. I mean, the things I've done before have also been, and some more than others. But this is really heavy stuff. This is the potential and the efficientness of this is way beyond some of the things I've done before, although they have been also working well. I mean, this is like... I don't know, I should compare like weapons now, but I came to think about like, it's comparing I don't know, not a knife to a machine gun, a stupid thing to say, but I mean, how can't I have any other? I saw those violent films yesterday. I think that's why I kept that in my mind now. Yeah. Anyways, so that Last Blood. Oh, I loved the first one. I saw that when I was not young. No, I mean not old. I was like, I don't know when it came. I probably saw it then because I saw it in cinema. And I was totally overwhelmed. I walked from the cinema for the First Blood. I was, I could Google it probably, but it feels like I was probably not, like maybe 13, 14 at the most, and maybe way younger. I'm not sure. I guess there was some... age limit to it. I don't know if I cared about that though. And around the same time I saw this he who got transformed into a spider. What's it called that even? I don't know if you ever someone knows. But that was also a film I was totally like absorbed by. I was so fascinated. But anyways, First Blood, I was like I was totally pulled into that. I thought that was better because I also was so very young and so it was also on the big screen, and yeah, I wonder what I would think about that today. Anyways, I guess that's why I have those thoughts. But anyways, yeah, it's really, really way more efficient. It was I guess it was last summer or some, I don't even recall exactly when, but out on this grass, I was like laying and relaxing, and there was this dark shadow coming into my room quite, strongly, and I checked that if it was any light or, sunlight or anything that was shining, or what it was, like, maybe natural things making it all shadowy, like moving very slowly in the direction of kind of the other house next door, or there is like a lawn outside, and so. But I saw this darkness coming, and I thought, what is this? And I tried all things, like asking angels and all kinds of stuff, actually, just because it moved quite slowly, but it was very distinct. And I thought, what is this? I was really curious at the same time. I never, so far, aside from maybe once when I was younger, I don't really fear it. I get really curious when it comes to these things, and want to like almost investigate what is this now, and try to get it, understand what's going on. And so this moved very slowly, and it didn't change. I used to have the ability to influence these energies quite easily, and this didn't change, and I was so surprised. And the moment I tapped into this and communicated with the energies of those that I work with in Munaki, it vanished and it became all light. And that time there was this little girl, I think she was maybe 1 or 2 years old, maybe 1 just then, I think she maybe is 2 now, anyways, living next door. They don't know about this though, and she swallowed something she got in her throat, and so she was almost choking at that time, or like right after. And so, because my mom was around sitting on the balcony looking at that, I didn't know that was going on. She told me afterwards, and I told her what I saw then. But anyways, and they had to, her granddad turned her upside down, holding her legs, so, and she started to breathe again, and it was all fine. But I don't know if that is a connection to what I saw, but it was odd though, and how instantly it vanished when I used these techniques, and the strong connection I have to these forces that I work with, you can say. So it was amazing. And in many other ways. I mean, when I work with that, I see the efficiency. And from the outside, that's a problem when you want to like talk about, for example, I mean, to me, witchcraft or Wicca or that kind of work is also shamanic work. So it's so close, so how can you even divide it even? So, but anyways, it focuses a little bit different, and so, but it's kind of the same. To me, it's the same. Although this path where you work so in depth with yourself in a specific way, you strengthen the connection to the energies of nature and so on so much. So I don't know. Maybe it just suits me the best. That's why. Oh, now there is a. Oh, I wanted almost to film it. Maybe hear it. Let's see if it says something more. Do you hear it? Cra cra. There is a. Those black and white magpie. They are called. It's looking at me. Oh. Yeah, cute. It's just sitting right outside the window talking to me. Sweet. Yeah, I love those. I love magpies. And there is this mushroom circle outside of here, right outside on the lawn there. And there are 2 magpies. There are some mushrooms like fairy circles quite close here. Like there is at least 4 that I know of, 4 or 5, that is just round close here. And there is a couple of magpies that are always around those circles. I think they are like magical. To me, they are, anyways. Maybe this was one of them, but they used to be together, those 2. So I don't know. Yeah. anyway, so, and these also communication with the animals in, I mean, some people think this is more boring than the whole going into, I don't know, using tools in witchcraft or whatnot, but this is so important if you want to develop this depth of spiritual connection to, yeah, all that is, honestly. This is the wow, this is really it. And the things that goes on in your ordinary life, like this little talking to me, you know, that's so important to recognize what's happening around you. It's all communication. Yeah, messages going on all the time. So I just also heard a song that I love. Recently I've heard a lot of songs that I love, and I'm like this. I wonder if I sometimes live in the wrong time zone. I don't understand time well, but I love music from far long ago. But also a song I heard that I haven't heard for now ever, it felt like, is Isis by Bob Dylan. And it was so fun to hear it again, since I don't know how long it was since I heard it last. I love it. I just love his music, most of it anyways. Yeah, but I won't talk about music now. But music, how magical isn't that? That's just magic in itself. And how it can change your mood, and how you can use this to build energy, if you now want to work with energy, as some of you do, I think. I mean, all of us do, always, subconsciously or not. But anyways, back to the whole reputation thing there. You can also try to ruin someone's reputation. I mean, there is some, this divide and conquer thing, and isolate, and one way to do that. Obviously, I realized certain things that since I don't really have done those things myself, I've not had a clue. But now I start to see certain patterns and how some work, let's say. And, if you have a plan to break someone if you're really, I guess, I don't know what, but if you have a long-term plan, let's say, you can take your time and manipulate or people's perception on reality and whatnot to fit your need, then if it's to, let's say, break someone, if that's the aim. I don't understand how anyone have the energy or I don't know, to really use their life and so on to do that. There is so much else to do, I think. But okay, people choose whatever they choose, and I don't understand everything, obviously, and it is as it should, and I shouldn't judge. I mean, what do I know? What they have with them or whatever. But it's interesting, though. And I try to be careful not to listen to, let's say, rumors or reputation like that. To some degree you always do, I guess, when you hear something. But it can also be like as in the outer society and things, where there can be this whole facade thing going on, and things are playing, or people, are playing games, and it may be the opposite, really. And also the projections showed towards someone can be, the reason can be to have you look better, or maybe it's just what you try to project towards others, maybe the things you try to hide about yourself. So it's interesting, though. It's very interesting. And sometimes if I was more, I think, gifted, I would write books. Because it's interesting how everything works. when it comes to writing. I mean, I think I'm gifted in many ways, actually. But yeah, yeah, I like to write though. So maybe someday. I don't like to write on computers specifically because whatever, I want to have it by myself, not being like hacked and so on. I want it by myself. It's the same with magic, actually. I wouldn't write that down, especially on computer, but not at all, actually. Aside from things that I don't care much if someone would come across them. But yeah, I try to understand. This little fellow here, the skunk, is still something I should learn from a lot. I need to learn this. Yeah, but it's three things, I guess, and that's like the three things that goes with the initiation of into Wicca, I guess, also. But or witchcraft or whatever. In some traditions there is no initiation, like grades like such, but it's the will, of course. You need to know what you want, otherwise you don't know what to repel or attract even. And then the skill. Here is the skill. And then what is the next one? Yeah, it's the communication. It's actually the connection itself. When you learn to connect and communicate with various things like the magpie. And now there's a lot of those they come in flocks, those birds. Yeah, maybe don't know what they are. Lovely, anyways. Just flew by. Yeah, that's what it's about. You cannot, from an isolated, I mean, if you haven't a spiritual connection in some kind of way, you don't need to call it even spiritual, but we are all obviously in connection with everything. We become what we eat, or what we absorb. But anyways, it's kind of obvious. We can't really deny that fact, that we are part of it all, and it changes, and we constantly breathe in everything that we are made up by, all that is, and it's constantly moving. It's never still, and like as if you were this island that are disconnected from everything else. It's impossible. So yeah, so the connection and knowing that's a great source of power, and it's so awesome also that it is that way, because that means that the ego will always be weaker. If you have that perspective from the ego point, then you're limited. You're unlimited if you are one with it all. And the moment you are, or the more you are, let's say, the more you will also care about everything, because it's you, and it's you. So, I mean, so there is no possibility that, or risk, you should call it probably, that the ego can have the greatest power. It cannot, because it is in its definition limited. That its power is limited. It can be quite large egos too, but still not compared to the whole. I mean, how could that be? You realize that, right? So to work in this spiritual field. Now my cat is awake and eating. Okay, hope she won't come here. Then we will see what she does. Maybe she watches the birds, hopefully. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the basics of magic, I guess. And it's a continuous process, and it's the basic of shamanism as well. If you don't know what you want, you will constantly go in mixed directions and undo. That's the you don't even need to learn magic, I think, many times. What you need to learn is not to stand in the way of the things you want. Especially I myself need to learn that. I constantly do that. I want things a lot, and then I I prevent them with my words that are powerful, or my actions or thoughts or so on, with my energy in one way or another. I pull back that energy of what I want, which is interesting. It's not that I do it purposely, but I see that I do it. And the more you realize the power you have, and we all have, the less you hopefully will do that. Because why would you want to like stumble around causing problems and stress for yourself, and so yeah. And then you can become more and more skilled with all these things, like the focus and the relaxation as well. Because without relaxation, you also, if you're like, you hold back so much energy, you can't let it run freely through you. If you are tense, super tense, you need to have a relaxed mindset and a relaxed body to be able to let go of energy. And it's like the movement of this energy that you use. You need to be able to work it, so to speak. Yeah. And then if you also can tap into the energies around and the energies of nature and the spirit world, then that is unlimited. Yeah. And that is also no end to how much more you can do. I mean, there is this whole, I guess, enlightenment. I don't know even if that is a set, or if it's possible, but the Buddha probably meant. But I mean, if there is a from this human point, anyways, I don't think you can be ever like totally enlightened, not in one moment, at least. Maybe like over time you can get more of the whole. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, it's and that's the fun thing, I think. I don't think it's something to aim for, even to have to have reached it. It's the whole reaching that is the fun thing. It's that you can constantly deepen these connections, strengthen this, and become more and more aware. Why would you want to be on a static point where you're like done? I don't know. And luckily, I don't think it's easily achieved, if it's even possible. I don't know. Maybe, but yeah. Well, now I got far into the spiritual stuff, but yeah, there is a lot of things that I wonder about, and how mean people can be, knowing nothing. That's interesting also. Just going on, for example, rumors. People can be so blinded and narrow-minded so that they don't even understand that they are totally wrong, and what they listen to is probably, some people really mean well, but they listen to the wrong song. They listen to the wrong information, and direct their energy absolutely where it should not go, not where they would want it to go if they had greater awareness than that. It's interesting also. Yeah. I don't know. There are certain things that I try to grasp, but a lot of things, I would say. But yeah, when it comes to most mean things that I have come across, I guess at the core there must be some sort of fear, though. I mean, you hear that a lot of times, that underneath hate or whatever there is fear and so on. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that whole as a general concept. I'm not sure about that, though. Not at all. But in certain situations. I guess that's the thing. When you try to harm someone else, probably it's very much about protecting yourself. So in whatever way you do that, if you try to make it look in a certain way when it comes to others or whatnot, yeah. Now I won't go further into that. I really want to sometimes, yeah. But I shouldn't. I should leave it alone and let it be. At least for now. Maybe forever. But yeah. But when it comes to other things then, yeah, exercise. I started to find it fun. That's fun. I never thought that could be fun. I thought you had to kind of do it or you went through it, but to enjoy it actually, like becoming glad and happy doing it, I never thought that was possible. But I really keep it on my level, which is quite low still, but it's building up, yeah. And not only because I realized that happens, but I think it just feels good. It just feels good in the body, not just like results. I'm not a result-seeking person generally. I just enjoy things. But I have this wonderful personal trainer. She lived in Morocco recently. Now she's in England. Now she's from here, but oh, she's the sweetest, and she has such patience with me. Oh. She's lovely. Yeah. Yeah. There are so many people that are mean so well and are so sweet, so you should focus on those. Yeah. Well, was it something else to attract and to repel? And that is also, when it comes to magic, maybe I should go back to talking about that, because I think that's the interest here in these pages. That's actually what you do. And some people don't want to use, let's call it then, negative magic, if you would say. But it's the same thing. Like, if you always would concentrate on repelling something, then you would have your mindset focus on the things you don't want, which is in the long run, or if it's the focus overall, that would be like, that will be straining. So balance there, or even the main focus should be on the things you want to attract instead, because of how it brings you more happy feelings and strengthen you, and I mean, the focus in life should be probably to enjoy it, right? But there is a part though, sometimes it's needed to use some other things, and that's also a good thing. That's like, why shouldn't you be loving towards yourself and compassionate towards yourself? Of course you should. And yeah, and then you sometimes need to not be too cute with all others, you know. Yeah. Obviously. I mean, many things I say is so obvious, so I shouldn't even say them, but to me they are revelations still. Some of these things that are people understand way before I ever did. I mean, also about the self-respect. This was a lot about self-respect. And I guess I've always had this great self-esteem. I don't know if... I'm not sure about the whole self-esteem and self-confidence. I think I've always had a great self-esteem, honestly. Because I've always felt loved. I mean, I've always had this connection to nature and spirit, and I've always felt this communication and the strength in that, a deep strength that is like beyond everything else. And then things in this minor lifetime of things there I've not been at all confident always. I am quite confident also in some ways, but I also felt that I've been lacking a lot and still feel in some other ways. But when it comes to self-respect, there have been this misunderstanding, I would say. It's not I think others would have perceived it as lack of self-respect probably, or self-esteem. But it haven't been really in my case. It have been sometimes really compassion and felt sorry for others because they've been so stupid, honestly. Or like they have been acting so pathetically in my mind. So to me it seemed, I don't know, I couldn't I don't know, but I should have been more respecting in my behavior towards myself. But it's interesting to see after a long time how I've let some others treat me in bad way, and I've seen it, I've seen it, and still have not gone in the other direction, and yeah, I should have just I don't know. I think there was a lack of understanding of this whole oh gosh, how I talk now, I don't say full sentences ever, but I think it have been, I didn't understand that people consciously manipulated, especially those who said they were friends or whatever, and because I didn't see that, I thought they were, although I see they behaved bad, I thought it was more of a mistake from their part. I don't know, and I don't know, maybe I couldn't cope understanding how bad it was sometimes also, because you have to kind of see that then, that this is how they view me, this is how they do not value me at all or treat me in this way. And that can be painful, of course, but I think that was not I didn't even get to that point. I just didn't understand that people ever did that, because I didn't do it, so. And gradually I realized, of course there are those situations where people just don't have a mean plan or do things still that don't act very respectful, but they can have whatever scars with them or so on. But I thought that was it, and that was why, and that also was why I was so extremely tolerant with a lot of people, that I don't understand how I could be now. So yeah, it was a very weird way to describe this whole thing, I think, but yeah. But the main thing is to be, if you know who you are, I think then you are steady enough and not to let others play you in whatever way they want or feel like they should. It's almost like a hunt. It's almost like you become a prey, so it's like that. You need to be aware that some people are like that. Like, is it called carnivores? No, that is those who. That's something else. Those who are. Never mind. I don't remember the English word, but yeah. Then if you watch the nature programs or whatever, how they do to hunt and not become that prey. Not buy into those lies or those tactics or isolate yourself too much, because there are really predators. That's the word. There are really predators out there, human predators, that are. I mean, I don't know if that's really their. Yeah, I know, I cannot understand it. That's like their aim in life. But I also think they of course, they have great egos, but also they have a strong competitive mind and cannot take that they can't like win all the time. You know, I think that's what sometimes drive others to meanness as well. Probably some scars from before where they haven't been able to maybe defend themselves or whatever. I think there must be some core thing there. But then also the whole sensitive ego that cannot like stand the audacity of someone else winning, you know. They have to do like everything to bring someone down. Otherwise they would feel so weak and small. Yeah, but then they would have to fight forever, because this whole world will be against their ego. Can't win, can't stand forever, you know. So, and they will realize that their awareness will grow, and they will realize that soon enough. I mean, at least sometime. Maybe not this lifetime, but to come. There is no other way to go. The pain will teach them. The pain they cause themselves, and the pain, of never-ending fight, destructiveness, and focus on those things. That will not bring a happy life, and that will not bring a happy heart. How could it? And the fear will grow, because that ego just builds its walls and its boundaries, and becomes more and more. It moves in on that with the stronger walls and the more disconnection, and you do have to have a great deal of disconnection to intentionally harm others, especially if they haven't harmed you. There is a I guess it's a natural thing to want to protect yours and so on, but when it goes overboard, you know, you just build yourself in and can't get out. And that's really, help is needed there to loosen that fear and to connect again, not the least to themselves. That's how I see it. And I mean it compassionately. I don't try to judge. I just try to understand. But to be unaware of these predators out there and some of their tactics, that's not a good idea. And also to think that you can spot them or really, you know, on the surface level realize who they are. That's at times you could, but many times not. Many times they have such a polished surface, so you won't ever think it's them. You know, the worst ones. Yes. Okay, now they are doing something with some machine, tractor or whatever. It's outdoors. Maybe I should stop. And also, I don't know where to go with this. But I think it's important. That's why I talk about it, because to ignore these things is not healthy, because then you're just prey. And now maybe it's the garbage they take out. Good. And you can also, when it comes to witchcraft and magic overall, you can use everything. Like now they are scooping away the garbage, I would guess. Then you can meanwhile let go of all the shit, all the crap you're hanging on to, also in thoughts, in energy, and your whatever physical. You can like use all the things that goes on to, when you take a shower, to let go. Not only that, I mean, not only taking a shower, but also letting go energetically and visualizing and focusing on those things, you know. So everything that goes on can be a part of your working magic. Yeah. So we let them take this crap now, and hopefully not talking about that more. Yeah, but still, the awareness. With the awareness comes not only the awareness of the beautiful things, although that should probably be in focus. It brings us more happiness to have that in focus. But to be blinded is to be blind and unaware. Yeah, that is to be unaware. And that is not to be enlightened, and it's not to be, you know, you will fool yourself, and you will also put yourself in a much more vulnerable position than you need to be by keeping a blind eye to things that feel too bad to look at even, you know. It's one thing to look at things and just be mad and judging, but there is a whole other things to really try to understand and to try to find ways to deal with them and also share that knowledge with others, you know. Yeah. But the sooner you realize that your ego have no chance, the easier the path will be. But it's nothing we can actually jump ahead and do still. It will realize when it's time. And I'm not talking to anyone else in that case. I mean, myself also. I really have to be aware when that takes over, so that I myself, I have these, as you've heard probably many times when you have, if you have listened to me before, but there are when these addictions and all kinds of obsessions that I tend to get like hyper focused on, which is a good skill, but sometimes it's not beneficial. So, you know, yeah, to realize that wait a second, now it can become so overwhelming or overpowering, so that all the things I have, the light inside and everything, becomes dim, and I start to like grasp at emptiness, you know, when you just want more and more and more from something of something that it will only keep emptying you, and you will get less, you know, you get into this compulsive pattern just. And so, for example, as if you eat non-nourishing foods, you will have a lack of nourishment, so you will just keep craving. You will never be full and filled. So and that can go on, and so, you know, so you need to be still sometime and just pause for a moment and realize, wow, right now my ego is running the show here, and it's leading me nowhere. So what to do, you know, to not lose yourself fully in whatever outside stuff, you know. Everything is in there, the treasures is in you. So, and it's much greater. There is nothing to fear. The things inside and the greatness we all have, it's way greater. We will not lose out on anything if we dare to let go. That's the happy thing to do. But to get to that point, that can be a struggle, though. Yeah. Now we must be compassionate with ourselves and others in that. It's way harder, I think, to be patient with yourself, though, oftentimes, than with others. But both can be quite difficult at times. Well, Okay, I will just end now. I could go on and on and on. Okay. Thank you so much for being there, and I hope you enjoy Dylan. I will put a link to that song beneath. I just actually love them. I mean, I love his lyrics, by the way. Of course, who cannot? I mean, no, it's not only the lyrics, it's very much the music. The thing that I fell for with Dylan is his music. I didn't listen. That's weird how you can even not connect with his lyrics. But many years, actually, I listened to Dylan and I loved his music. Particular songs I was almost obsessed by. Hurricane, for one. I loved that song. I was like dancing to that song. And also I loved lightnings and hurricanes and thunders and so, but in nature as well, like exhilarated. And that song was so capturing, that whole, I don't know, swirling. I just love the music of it. And with many songs that's the case, and this song Ice is also, I mean, the lyrics of things, maybe not this as much as many others, but the lyrics are absolutely amazing when it comes to, I must put a link to another song. What is that called? Just for the whole lyrics things. What is that called? I don't remember the name of it, but I will put link to 2 songs just because of the whole brilliance of him. How beautiful to live in a world where he's still alive. Yeah. And just recently I learned to know about Ola Magnell, a Swedish singer-songwriter who is so awesome and such a humble, wonderful person he seemed to be or have been. He passed just some days ago, I think now, or a week maybe. Soon, Thursday morning I think it was, so yeah, it's not even a week. Maybe I have to put a link to a song of his then, obviously. But he have also written several. I think there are not many Swedes that have tried to even make Swedish songs from Dylan's songs. But he have done several, and all of them are great. They are awesome, and that's not an easy thing to do. But his own songs as well, obviously. But I just recently discovered him, and it's so sad that I didn't have the opportunity to meet him and listen to him and all. But then again, he is still alive. So, yeah, although he left this plane of existence. Well, so yeah, I'll put some songs beneath. And sending you good vibes, and hope you got something out of this. And well, I'll talk to you soon enough. Bye for now.